All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. As people jump on, they can just follow along. You don't want to take up your whole night. So I have everyone on mute. So if you need to talk, please be sure to unmute yourself, but keep yourselves on mute for the duration of the call, as it will help with status and all of those things. So please welcome again to the 2019 Flag Football Seasonal Conference Call for coaches. My name is Jeff Franklin, also known as Chop, for those of you that don't know me. If you guys haven't heard yet, Linda Lappy, our old VP of competitions and programs, accepted a job at the University of San Francisco. So I have been lucky and blessed enough to be selected as the new leader for our programs team, which I'm super excited about. I was our Northeast Regional Manager and moved into this role last week. I'm currently playing a dual role by serving in that role still. So Jordan also is moving to North Carolina. She's the one that typically runs these calls. So you guys get to listen to me today and on Wednesday if you're on those. So welcome to the call. Right now we do have our regional managers on the line. Michelle Pewters in the Southeast with her assistant Kyle Kemper. Ashton Egger, the Northeast program assistant, is on the line as well. You all know Susan very well, our state director. Excuse me, and Julie Fight, our Western regional manager. So this is a state conference call, so please hold any regional questions for your regional manager until the end of the call. And please, again, just if you have any questions throughout, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask, or type them in the chat box and we will get back to you as soon as you can. So I hope all of you got the agenda that was sent out by your regional managers. If not, you can find all this information on regional websites. If you guys take a look here, if you're scrolling over looking at my screen, if you go to our homepage, then hover over about and you go to regions, good old internet, all the regions pop up here. And if you click on more information for each one, each region should have all the information coming up for the fall. Technically, we're still in the summer, so this will all be updated after our summer classic, which is August 24th and 25th. And our fall season technically starts the week after. So this is where you can find all the information we're going to talk about today, as well as the coach's handbook. But the first thing I want to do is go over regional dates. So the Western Regional Flag Football event will take place on Sunday, October 20th at Prairie Fields Camp in Grand Junction. And entries are due to Julie by Wednesday, October 9th. The Denver Flag Football Tournament will be on Saturday, October 5th at the Lowry Sports Complex. And entries are due Monday, September 23rd to Adrian. The Northeast Regional Flag Football event will also be on Saturday, October 5th at Fossil Ridge High School in Fort Collins. Those entries are also due by Monday, September 23rd. And finally, Southeast is going to host a flag football event this year, which we're really excited about. That'll be Sunday, October 6th at CSU Pueblo. And those entries are due on Monday, September 16th. We're not wasting any time. State will be at Colorado State University again on the intramural fields. We had the largest state event we've ever had last year there, and we're looking forward to expanding on that. And that'll actually be October 26th, Saturday, October 26th. And you can find all the state information, again, in that same About tab. And if you scroll to competition, click on that. And all of that stuff will be posted here as we collect information and things of that nature. As you can see, there's already a state flag football fact sheet up there for you. So, all right, right now I'm going to pass it over to our Southeast Regional Manager, Michelle, and she's going to go over the forms to have you guys get involved. So, Michelle, take it away.
All right, thank you, Chop. I'm not sure if anybody else is seeing what I'm seeing on the screen, but Chop, I can't see what you're doing. So if it's just me, I will go ahead and kind of walk you through it. So bear with me. So we're going to go over some important forms. We're going to go over some more in depth than others, but we're going to scroll over the Get Involved tab and go down to Coach. We're going to click on that. From there, we're going to go over to Coaching Resources. Click on that button, and you're going to scroll down until you see something that we call Coach Handbook by Sport, and you're going to click on that. And this will bring up all of the different sports that we offer and all the different paperwork that we need for each sport. We're going to go down to flag football. So the first one that you'll see there is the 2019 State Flag Football Fact Sheet. This is just the information on state, where it's going to be, when it's going to be, some more detailed information. Make sure you guys are sharing this with your team and your families, as well as the regional fact sheets. This will help everybody be on the same page. It'll make your life a little bit easier. Second is the principles of meaningful involvement. Now this goes for every single sport that we do provide. Essentially, it's just making sure that everyone has an important and valued role on the team that emphasizes his or her personal talents. So an example would be if an athlete is really good at catching, but not necessarily that good at passing just yet, utilize a play where he catches it in the end zone and makes a touchdown, and so on and so forth. This also kind of coincides with our philosophy for unified partners. If you do have a unified team, we want to make sure that there are no partner dominations occurring. So something like that would be like in a game-winning situation, for example, if partners take it upon themselves to make sure that they do a touchdown in order to tie the game or to win the game. In this situation, that would be partner dominance and definitely not something that Special Olympics Colorado wants you to do. It's not necessarily a rule, but it's something that we want you to adopt as a team. We do take note on teams that maybe don't have a good understanding of it. So we do have those conversations and make sure that everyone does have that valued role. In a situation where, you know, you want to win the game, make sure that those athletes are also included in making that touchdown. All right, so next we're going to go to the 2019 coach roster, which you guys should be seeing now on the screen. Wait for it to come up. Perfect. Okay, so this is what you guys would turn in for every single sport. This is what the regional managers need in order to check on your coaches to make sure they have everything that they need in, like their Class A or their background check. So the first thing that you would do is you would download this and save it as a document, and then make sure that you are typing in the document that you saved, because if you try to share this with us, we won't get any of the information that you typed. So you would click on region, you would put the current region that you are going to attend. So if you are in Fort Collins, your region would be the Northeast. If you are in Colorado Springs or Pueblo, therefore it's going to be the Southeast, Denver, and then we also have the Western region, so Grand Junction, Montrose, Vail, Durango, those types. You would put in the sport, so that would be flag football. Competition would be then the regional. We do take your regional forms and send them into state if you plan on attending, so that way you don't have to double down on paperwork, so that'll save you some time. You put in your team name, your head coach, and for the day of the event, if you are the head coach and you know you're not going to be there, make sure you put in your assistant coach, so if something does happen, we can get a hold of them. The additional email is there if you want to put in your assistant coach or maybe a second email that you have, and of course your head coach email. All right, so here we have all of the slots you can put your coaches on. Make sure if you're the head coach and you put your information before that, you're also putting your information down there as well. And also take note that we would prefer this to be in alphabetical order if you can. Also make sure you're putting in the date of birth. We want to make sure that John Smith is the correct John Smith in the Southeast and not the John Smith in the Denver who doesn't have their paperwork in. So that would save some time if you could help us verify that. All right, so now we're going to go out of that and we are going to go to the team form. This is where you would also put your unified partners. So don't put them on your coach roster. Make sure you're putting them on this roster with the athletes. You fill in everything just the same. Just make sure that you guys are checking whether you are a unified or traditional team. Unified means there are partners involved, and traditional means that it is an all-athlete team. For the athlete and partners, you do want to try to put them in alphabetical order by last name if you can. We understand if you forget that part, but it does help with the organizational process. Make sure you indicate whether they're an athlete or partner, what their gender is, their date of birth, and their overall rating. So that would be 1 through 4, which we'll get into a little bit more, but we don't want you guys to just put a solid 4 for everybody. If your team rating is a 4, we actually go through and make sure that you're divisioned correctly and maybe even division closer to different teams. So we do take into account each overall rating. One way that you can figure out your team level is if you added up all of your overall ratings and divided it by how many athletes you have and partners you have, and that should give you a number, which you can then check off on the team level. There's also another way, which we will go over here in just a few minutes, that's a little bit more visual, which will help as well. The other boxes that you see are if you plan on attending states. This is often missed, so make sure you check yes or no. And if you're missing any key players, that just means if you had a unified partner or an athlete last year that was a level 1 or 2 and they're not going to be playing this year, you would then check yes or no if you're missing them. That would then go into the team strength. So if you are missing them, odds are you're probably weaker. Or if you maybe had a couple of unified partners join, that would equal them out. Or if you have a couple more that you added on from last year, it would be stronger. Okay. Again, make sure you download that and save it before you start typing. Okay, next we have the individual rating form. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. There's also a flag football team entry form sample if you're just not sure. Make sure you look at this and kind of use it as an example. If you're still just not sure, make sure you're calling your regional manager. Okay, so the individual rating form. This is for you guys. You do not have to turn it in to us. We do not use it. But in order to assess the level that your individuals are at or your athletes or partners, this is a tool. So it goes over each of the different skills in that sport and how to rank them. And you would give them their overall score. So this should help you if you just can't eyeball it yet. This will be a really good tool for you to use. Okay. Next, we have our levels for rating. So this is that visual that I was kind of talking about on how to level your team or rate your team. It goes over levels 1 through 4, 1 being the strongest, 4 being, you know, skills are still needing to be developed. It'll go over what pace the game is. You know, level 1, for example, would be a fast-paced game. The athletes and partners are almost, you can't tell the difference because they're at that same level and they have a good flow. A good overall view of what the sports and our rules provide. And they get lower as you go, just barely. Level 4 would be those who are relatively new to the game or maybe just a little bit lower skill. The officials would be reminding them and then calling them. It's kind of acting as a coach, but they're still learning those basic rules. If you guys want to watch a video about how to rate your team, it is available on this link. Which will go over different teams for each level. Chop, do you want to watch a video or do you want to go out and go to the rest of the forms?
Forms.
Okay. So the next one we're going to go over the skills entry form. Okay, so this is a separate entry form that you would turn into me if you have a team that is not a competing team, but that of just learning the skills. Okay, so if you have a very new athlete or a younger athlete that may not be in that competing aspect yet, skills is a great addition for them to be able to participate. So again, you put your region, your day of contact, your head coach's name, which might be different because this could be going on at the same time. So just make sure if you have a few coaches that you're delegating them correctly. And then of course you would put in your athlete information and then their entry score, which we can learn how to score here in just a few minutes. And of course, make sure you're saying that you're attending or you're not attending. They're typically hidden, so make sure you're looking for them. All right, so the skills instructions, this is going to help you rate those individuals. It gives you kind of how you would set it up during practice, as well as the scoring. So make sure you're looking over these because this is what we are going to do for our regional or our state competitions. So as long as you can keep it consistent, it'll go benefit for your athletes. And it goes over each of those different drills and skills. All right, so we are going to go over the flag football drills as well. This is a good tool for you guys to have. If you're new at running a practice or if you want to switch it up a little bit, these are some different things you can do. So ball handling drills, a couple of different ones there, visuals, passing and catching. And then those blue, yeah, those things are actually links as well to some different videos. So use those as a resource if you are needing to come up with some new stuff.
All right.
All right, Chop, do you want me to go over any of the other ones? Or are you good?
Nope, I think you're all set. Nice job, Michelle. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions on forms before we move on? Awesome. Next, we're going to touch on important rules to note. Again, in this same section, we have a couple things here. So the SOI flag football rules are what's passed down to us from Special Olympics International. You guys are welcome to look at these. They are saved in the same spot as everything else. It's 17 pages of pretty descriptive terms and rules that we're trying to follow for flag football this season. Not much has really changed. Underneath that, in every sport, you can find our flag football rule interpretations. Anytime you see the interpretations word with our rules, that means that we have changed the SOI rules to kind of make sure that, excuse me, they follow our Special Olympics Colorado, just our themes and things of that nature. These are very specific to what we do in the state. So these are things I recommend you definitely look over, hopefully print off, bring them to every practice with you just to know what to expect from every competition and things of that nature. So I would ask that you follow along on here with me if you don't mind. But these are some of the ones that really stand out. The ages of the athletes, we put this rule in last year and we're still trying to continue it. If you have anyone under the age of 16, we really don't want them playing on an adult team. We understand there are some teams that may have, just one team and there's a huge plethora of age difference from one player to another. You might have like a 14-year-old and like a 28-year-old. Bottom line is that comes down to a safety issue, and we really want to avoid all of that. So for a case-by-case basis, if you have anything like this, please, please, please communicate with myself or your regional manager. The next big thing is the flags. We've been promoting this for 2 years. The flags need to be a 3-flag, 1-piece belt. It cannot be 3 separate flags. If you do not own these belts, we can supply them for you. We have plenty of extras. We will also bring them to every regional and state competition just in case. So please reach out to your regional manager if you do not have these. Also, snapping the football. So when you're on offense and you're snapping the ball, we really enforced this last year and everyone took to it really well. You are not allowed to side snap. The snap must go between the legs. That is a rule we will enforce. We will throw a flag. All of our officials will be communicated with to do that, so we can really focus on that moving forward. Attire-wise, no pockets in the shorts, and the shorts and the flags need to be a different color. Please do that to the best of your ability. The pockets in shorts is, again, a safety thing. You don't want someone going for a flag and then breaking their thumb or something like that moving forward. We will not allow tape on the shorts. Please, please, please make sure that there are no pockets in the shorts to start. Flag football is also considered non-contact with us, but we do realize, especially in the higher division games, there may be unintentional contact. This is where you need to really rely on and trust the officials at your competitions. Most of our officials are volunteers, and a lot of them are even students now that coach NERSA and collegiate competition. So they're just doing their best, and if a call doesn't go your way or swings the other way, please just remember these guys are volunteers, and they're taking time out of their day to really provide a quality competition for our athletes. So there are cases, I know people get heated, it's sports, and again, especially in those level 1 games, something might happen, but please keep your cool. And if you have any questions, please contact your regional manager. One of the big things with us is our rush line. So on defense, you're not allowed to, let me see if it's right here, it's not. On defense, you're not allowed to rush the quarterback unless you start from 7 yards back. So what this means is that if you start from that rush line, I'll scroll down to the map for you guys. So here's a typical field. So let's say this is 7 yards back where my arrow is if you're looking at the map. Anyone that starts behind that disc we'll use, it'll be a disc or a cone or something, can rush the quarterback. If you start in front of that line and you rush the quarterback, that will be a penalty on the defense. So that's what our rush line entails. With that, we also have our no run zones, as you can see. So if you're on offense looking at the screen going east, there's a no run zone 5 yards from midfield and then 5 yards from the end zone. So you're allowed to hand the ball off and pass it. You just cannot cross the line of scrimmage with a handoff. So you must pass the ball in those situations. As for time of games at regionals and state, we're going to try to stick to the 2 20-minute running half clocks with 1 minute at the end of each half. We'll stop the clock. We'll do a 3-minute halftime and then 1 timeout per half. That also is pending the tournament director at each region, how long we have the facility for, so that is subject to change. Next, we are going to go into our medical application and Class A process, unless anyone has any questions, and Julie's going to run that for us. No questions? Okay, Julie, take it away.
Okie doke. Good evening, everybody. Excuse me. Sometime during the end of July, early August, regional managers will go ahead and send out your team members and their paperwork to see if we need to update any of the Unified Partner Class A's or medical applications for participation. Now there is a new medical on our website, which you can get to by Get Involved and click on Athlete. It can be downloaded and completed, or it can be done online. Once the athlete participation form is received by the coach or a parent from the doctor, please check that out. There's quite a bit, and our data entry folks really struggle with having to send them back. So please make sure that they are signed and dated by the doctor, that all the contact information, thank you, all the contact information is there. There's also a consent, which initials over here on the right side need to be completed. And it just really helps to, before that is sent to the regional manager or directly into the Special Olympics office, that it is looked over and made sure that signatures and dates, etc., are all completed. Medicines, that sort of thing. There is the AAI down there is associated with athletes with Down syndrome. So that there are some restrictions to certain sports due to that spinal cord compression. So that is, if we can get word out that is the new form. I know I'm still getting some older forms as well. Now I also, because so many of my teams switch from different community center boards to other community center boards, or from a state hospital to a community center board, to please also send me a list of coaches, partners, and athletes, because they do vary so much. And then regional managers will check all the paperwork and get back to the coach, to let you know what is needed as soon as possible. Now the Class A is online only now. Well, first of all, any questions regarding the application for participation? And coaches and Unified Partners do need to renew their Class A if they've already been certified. That means a new paperwork form and a new background check. If you are new, assistant coach or Unified Partner, those persons need to complete the Class A form. And then once that is submitted, you will receive the link via email for the background check. Any questions on that? Super. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie.
Mhm.
Just to add to that too, moving forward, we get a lot of questions from coaches regarding athlete medicals, and because you are verified volunteers with us, we do request, if possible, that you guys, every coach has a copy of the athletes on their team of their medical form. This is just in case of an emergency at a practice, transferring athletes, to an event, anything of that nature. We actually, our data team has done a wonderful job of creating an online medical database, an e-filing system. It's not online, I apologize. But we have everything e-filed now. So I know it's a little extra work on our end, but we want you guys to be prepared for any situation. So as you send in your rosters and you double check your rosters and you're trying to figure out what's next for your teams, if you don't have an athlete medical and you would like a copy of it for that situation, please email your regional manager. And if they have a completed medical on our e-filing system with us, then we can get that to you guys just to cover all bases, just in case we do have an emergency. So please don't be shy when it comes to those things. Next, I'm going to talk quickly about our health and wellness stuff. We will be looking for fitness captains. Our goal is to have a fitness captain on each team around the state, which is a pretty lofty goal, but it's one that we're really chasing and we really think is important moving forward. There are applications that are available. So what we'll do is we'll have the regional managers, they're not on the site yet, but we'll have the regional managers email those out to each of their regions. And if you have an athlete that's a leader that really loves to take the fitness aspect to the next level, or if there's an athlete that you want to just put in a leadership position, please consider that. Jenna Tweet actually runs that program for us in our state office. So again, with the fall seasonal coaches email, which should go out the week before Labor Day, you should receive by then at the latest. We will have the regional managers include that link in those emails to all of you. So up next, we're going to let Susan talk about state information.
All right, how is everyone doing? Hopefully we'll get through this pretty quickly. We are excited to be back up in Fort Collins again this year at CSU. They are thrilled to have us back. I thought they were great hosts to us, especially for first year in the tournament. And we are, again, very excited to be back up there. Jeff, do you want to pull up the fact sheet that's on the competitions page, please? We will be a little bit earlier this year, just due to the football schedule. So we will be at the end of October 26th this year. And as Michelle mentioned, as far as entries go, you do not need to redo your entries. You just need to let your regional manager know that you plan on attending. Okay. As far as the competition notes, we will be offering team, unified team, and skills. And just to touch base a little bit, I know Michelle talked about skills a little bit, but skills is, it's a great opportunity for our athletes to really build up their skills to be able to be on a team. It's great for athletes that are brand new to the sport. It's also great for some of our athletes that are a little bit older and maybe not keeping up with the current team they're playing on as well. We will set up the different stations on one of the fields as we do for all of our team sports. And we want to encourage you guys to really think about looking at your team, making sure it's safe for your players to be out there. I think in the past we've had some athletes that really probably shouldn't have been on the field just due to their own personal safety. And so we really want to make sure that they have the best experience possible. Skills is set up for everyone to succeed. So just keep that in mind. And if you want more information on skills, I'm happy to talk more about it, or you can reach out to your regional managers. But we really want to encourage folks to take advantage of it and to really give the athletes that opportunity to succeed instead of kind of floundering through being on a team. We will do an opening ceremonies beginning at 8:30 again. Games will begin at 9 a.m. and we will probably be running till about 5 or 6 o'clock. It will really depend on how many teams we have. If we do run that late, you guys won't be there that whole day. We'll do what we usually do and have a game or two in between you guys. We will be offering Healthy Athletes. I believe at this point it is possible it's going to actually be the athlete medicals, so the MedFest, in addition to another screening. We'll do similar to what we did last year, where we'll assign teams to be able to head over there. It'll be inside the gym, so it's kind of a nice little break if it is cold again from the cold and the wind, or just a little break inside to get everybody out of the sun. And it's a great way for your athletes to really get that health care that we've been trying to provide for your group as well. We will have young athletes in the morning as well, as we've had in the past, and that's always definitely a fun way. We will probably also have some of our unified junior teams out there playing as well. So if your teams are not playing during those times, we would love for you to go cheer those guys on. I think it was really special last year. We had a couple of the adult teams go over and cheer on those young athletes, and it really made those young athletes feel special as well. Any questions on state at this point? I will be working to get out some hotel rates as we get a little bit closer, and I will be in touch with you guys soon. I can't believe we're in the fall season already, as I'm sure you guys also can't as well, but we'll be in touch soon to get those things set up so that you have all the information you need. But in the meantime, if there's any questions on state flag football, you guys please feel free to reach out to me if needed. I think that's all I have for that, if there's no questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Susan. Well, that was quick, guys. Does anyone have any questions or concerns concerning flag football coming into the 2019 season? All right, we'll stick around for about 2 or 3 more minutes if any of you have any regional questions. If not, we appreciate you taking time out of your guys' evenings for us. For those of you coaching bowling and volleyball as well, we will have calls on Wednesday. You should have gotten those sheets already. If not, good luck this season, and we will see you at regional and state. Take care, everyone.
Hey, Jeff, this is Susan. I was wondering, was anyone on the chat, or were there any chat questions that came up? I didn't seem to see any, but I was only on my phone.
Okay. Just Julie and Kyle saying they couldn't see anything.
Got it. Perfect.
Yeah, we're good. We're golden. So I'll send the link out now.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you in the morning.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Can you come help me?